Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for a preview of the Ravens and Steelers because it is rivalry week. Hendo, how are you tonight?
I am doing okay. I'm a little under the weather, but I'm all right because we have football in 2 days.
Can't wait. I know it's so crazy to say we have football on Saturday, but it is true. So we have a special guest tonight joining the show to kind of like talk this whole Ravens Steelers thing through with us. And would you please introduce our special guest?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, introducing the next big thing in Ravens YouTube. Listen, if you thought that 2 Baltimore Ravens fans was enough on the stream, now you get a trio. 3 excellent Baltimore Ravens YouTube content creators up here to talk about this preview game when the Ravens take on the Steelers, and hopefully we can win. Now, listen, when this guy comes in, he is an amazing YouTuber, but he tends to tell tall tales. He may say some things like, I'm not a Ravens fan. Do not believe him. He defends Lamar Jackson versus the Steelers more than any of us. So, without further ado, let's bring in Baltimore Ravens fan number 1.
Let's do it.
I can't.
And we
I
heard
can't
all of
stand you.
that. And we heard all of that. Thank you. We did. We heard the I
Oh
can't
no! I
stand you.
wanted people to hear it. I can't stand Mr.
Welcome.
Robot over there.
Welcome into the show, Suge. How are you tonight?
I am doing great, Yolanda. How are you doing?
I am doing okay. It's been one of those days, but through it all, I believe in putting a smile on my face. So there you go. But anyway, we are
You
here.
have a wonderful smile. I just want to
Uh,
let you know. You have a
Thank you,
wonderful smile.
Suge. I appreciate that. It's very kind, very kind. And I appreciate you taking the time to come here tonight to preview this game. Let everyone know, Suge, kind of, who you are, what you do here in social media.
So I am here to annoy this man right here.
Told you.
That right there.
What do you have going on in your channel?
So I do a show called The Steel Conspiracy with my two
Jesus.
favorite friends, RouG Pod host Hendo and LBHT host Mr. Brodney. Every Tuesday, also do some other stuff. Talking about movies, shows whenever I have a chance, but mainly just talking Steelers with my guys. So
Awesome. Well, again, thank you for joining. Let's get the show underway. I say,
He forgot to mention. I'm sorry. He forgot to mention he's on Twitch. He does gaming on Twitch. He forgot to mention that.
I do when I have time and on TikTok, but I haven't been doing too much gaming. Just been busy.
Yes,
Awesome.
and he also forgot to mention defending Lamar Jackson in Steelers spaces. That is his job. That's why he doesn't have time to do all of these other things because he's too busy in the Steelers streams. And tell me that I'm lying, Suge. Tell the people out there that I'm lying.
You are lying.
You don't go in Steelers spaces and defend Lamar Jackson?
And I do not.
Anymore. Say anymore.
Ever.
You sure?
Wow.
Because it wasn't a Steelers space when I defended him. So
I mean, you've defended him on multiple occasions. 2 Steelers people. Yeah, you have.
Listen,
the Steelers people.
We have the proof. We have the proof.
We
on
appreciate
Twitter.
you. We appreciate you, Suge, for taking a stance
What's up, Tanja?
for right
Not
Lamar
nasty.
Jackson. We appreciate it. Hey there, Tanja. Good evening. Thanks for joining.
It's
Yeah,
too-
Suge, the
great. It's more
Steelers
show.
fan, but I think Hendo said he was the Steelers/Ravens fan, so we'll take it. We'll take it.
He pretends he's in a fantasy. He's in a role playing. He role plays as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. He doesn't really believe it, but
Well, he has the hat to wear it. So tonight he's wearing the hat. He's playing the role of a Steelers fan, according to.
It's his son's hat.
Duly noted. Duly noted. Speaking of the game, let's get into it. All right. Look, Suge, your team, you got the best of us game 1. And by the best of us, I mean you guys only scored field goals, but you did enough to come out with a dub. How are you feeling going into this game?
Jeff.
Well, that slight of comment toward my Steelers. I mean, your quarterback couldn't throw a touchdown to the fourth quarter, so let's.
But he threw one.
Sure, when it was too late. But anyway, I'm feeling good. I mean, I've been thinking about this game all day and this week, and really, this game is is really not that important to the Steelers.
That's right, Ravens.
It is super important to the Ravens. They have to prove they can beat us. And they, right now, what's funny is I'm going to use the same excuse that Ravens fans have been using every year when we beat them. We're hurt right now. A couple of our key players are out. They're hurt.
When did
and
we
they
say
might not. You say it every year.
So when we were streaming together and we lost, I said, "Oh, it's because we're hurt," or did I say we lost?
Many Ravens fans, that might exclude you because you don't really use excuses. So I'll give you that. But many Ravens fans use the excuse of we're hurt. You got us while we're hurt. Lamar wasn't playing, so it doesn't really count. They use excuses.
Yeah.
And right now we're hurt. We got some guys out, key guys, and we're gonna see what happens. If we win this game, we take the division, and we're in a good spot, and we could probably rest for the next 2 weeks. If we lose this game, and I even think we still should rest for the next couple weeks because our big guns are out. So if we lose this game, we're still going to be in a wild card spot, and we're still in the playoffs. We can go on the road and beat teams because we have a defense to do that, and you just get your guys healthy.
No,
So,
if you lose, you're still first in the division by conference.
No, I know. Yeah, but I'm assuming we're going to lose to KC.
Oh, okay. As long as you're realistic about it. And you're gonna lose to the Bengals.
Most likely, if we sit guys, yeah, we're most likely gonna sit our guys. I know as a Steelers fan, our team can go on the road and win games.
Wait a minute.
For the Ravens, what?
No, I'm sorry.
What, Hendo?
Go ahead.
No,
for the Ravens,
I'll ask
go
you
ahead, because I have a question for him.
Yeah, I have
so
a question too.
So does Tanja.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, if you guys lose this game, you guys are what, 9-6?
8 and
9-6.
No,
No,
9-6.
9-6.
9-6.
You were projected to go, I think, 12-5.
We don't care about projections.
Okay. Were you not projected to win this division?
Yes, probably so. Yes.
So this game is important to you guys because it defines your season.
No,
because you
winning that Super Bowl defines the season.
No, this defines your season because you guys know. Hendo, I've heard you say it a million times. If you have to go play on the road at a wild card, y'all probably not going to win.
I heard you say that. No, you haven't heard me say that because we won our 2 Super Bowls as wild card teams.
Okay,
both the Super Bowls we won as wild card teams. But my question to you is, you say that it's not important to you. You're fine being relegated to the wild card round, playing that game on the road. When was the last time the Steelers won a playoff game?
We haven't won a playoff game in a while, but we have been able to win our Super Bowls on the road as a wild card team.
But
so I know we can do that.
But all I'm saying is it's important to you as well because you would want that home playoff game.
I don't think so.
I think it's.
I can tell you, it's 2016. Last time y'all won a playoff game was 2016.
That's fine, but I think important to us is getting healthy. Every time we have been in the playoffs recently, we have not been healthy.
When y'all lost to Baker Mayfield, y'all weren't healthy?
We had an old quarterback in Ben Roethlisberger.
Old and injured are 2 different things.
That quarterback couldn't throw. We were injured. First off, we were injured, and Ben couldn't throw past 15 yards. When we played the Bills, we were hurt. When we played the Bills with T.J. Watt, and we had a bad quarterback in Mason Rudolph.
Yeah.
So I am more. It is more important for the Steelers to get healthy before the playoffs.
Question coming in from Tanjo. She wants to know, and if you have questions for those of you watching in all 3 of our chats, welcome. I see all of you. Thank you for being here. If you have a question for us, please drop your questions in the chat. Question, Tanja wants to know, how is this game not important to the Steelers, Suge?
I'm not understanding.
Because it's not. It's what if we win the division, which we weren't supposed to do. We weren't even supposed to be in talks to win the division. We were supposed to be the 4th best team. Winning the division doesn't do anything for us other than get us a home playoff game. We're not going to get the 2nd seed and have home field throughout the playoffs. We're not going to get a bye. So realistically, all this does is get us one home playoff game. And I feel like the Steelers are better team when their backs are against the wall and they have to go on the road and win playoff games. So it's not that big of a deal for us. Whereas the Ravens, if you feel like you can go on the road and beat a team, cool. But the way you guys have been playing this year, not last year. Let's not talk about last year. Let's not talk about when you won Super Bowls. Let's talk about this year. I'm just saying.
Mhm.
I'm talking about this year.
Mhm.
It
Yeah.
feels like you need this more than we do.
Okay.
I
So
there's
Because
there I can
it's going to be a shock. It's a shock to your system. If we beat you up without George Pickens and we go and beat you guys, are you confident you can go into playoffs and win any games?
yes.
yes, because not every defense looks
I
like
know you.
the Steelers.
I know you're lying.
No,
No,
because
but
here's
not
the
every
thing.
defense that we're
Okay,
going
though.
to face is going to look like the Steelers defense. But
Fact.
let me say this though. You said that we don't play well on the road. We do. We actually play pretty well on the road. So I would still feel very comfortable for the Ravens having to travel, right, in a playoff game and being able to win. But there's something else I wanted to say. Someone else had a comment. We have a
Well, I'm
super
going to
chat.
say I'm going to say this before we do it. Apologies. Yes, you would want to win this game because just like you said, there's a possibility that you believe that you're going to lose to the Chiefs. And then you may possibly, even if you play your starters, there's a possibility you could lose to the Bengals. Divisional game, you never know what's going to happen. So now that moves you down further in the wild card race. Yes, you may want to repeat and play the Ravens again in the playoffs, but do you really want to play Buffalo in the first round?
Yes, I
Okay,
think our defensive
great.
matches
Then
are
that'll
well
be a
up
first round
against
exit.
Buffalo.
Then that'll be a first round exit. But I will say, yeah. But I will say this.
How would that be a first round exit?
Look, okay, I'll get to that in just a minute. I want to give a shout out to the super chat who has been waiting patiently. Thank you, Jonathan Alston. Thank you so much for the
Shout out.
donation. I could see the AFC North title decided by week 18.
That doesn't even happen because if we beat you guys or you
No,
beat us,
no. If you
Well,
if you beat us, you win
if
the
you
division.
beat
If you
us,
beat us, you win the division.
yeah, if you
we
beat
win the
us,
division. But
yeah,
if you beat us,
Jonathan,
if you beat us, then it comes down to
it's
KC
going to
and
come down to
possibly.
your last two games. That's right.
And I mean,
Yeah, that's right.
we still would have to be Houston. That's
The
not a
reason
gimme game.
The reason I say that I agree with you in part and I disagree with you in part, Suge, is when you say that this game matters more to the Ravens. I do believe that to be true. However, I disagree when you say it doesn't really matter to the Steelers. I think every game matters, especially against your rival. But the Ravens, I think, need this win just a little bit more than the Steelers do. Both teams need it. But if I had to quantify which one has the edge on needing it more, it's the Ravens because 8 of the last 9 games, the Ravens have come in second place. The Ravens have to be able to overcome the mental hurdle of seeing Mike Tomlin and getting scared and playing scared. For us to be able to overcome that and conquer that this Saturday gives us the momentum as we head into the last couple of games this season. And it gives us the confidence to say, look, this was kind of like, the enemy on our shoulder. We got rid of him today. So that's what I think.
But here, let me ask you a question. If you're not beating them at full strength, does it really count?
It does, because you can only play the teams that are in front of you with the players that they have available. You can only play the.
But
You
that
can
wasn't
only.
that wasn't for the Steelers when we beat you guys. And this
I can
person's
only
hurt.
speak
We're
for
hurt.
myself. I can't speak for other
Okay.
people. For me, when we were down and out, heavy laden with injuries, riddled with injuries a few seasons ago, and we looked abysmal, I couldn't say, well, we should get a pass because we're injured. No, we lost the games that we lost. We had the injuries that we had. And that was just a sad state of affairs.
And even when we were injured, we still had a more talented team and lost. So
Yeah.
injuries wasn't an excuse.
Yeah, it's not an excuse. It's just kind of, it just kind of is what it is.
We could talk about talent later, Hendo, because I already had this argument with your fans, and they stopped talking because I proved them wrong. But it's all good.
We do have another question coming in.
I'm a
Drop
different
your
animal.
questions in for us if you have them. Be More Show wants to know,
Ooh.
what do the Ravens need to do to win on Saturday? I'll start with you, Hendo.
Whatever John Harbaugh tells them to do the opposite.
Wait a minute. Can you be serious?
I'm dead serious. Listen, he gets in front of Tomlin and he gets shook.
Yeah.
Like
he does.
we lose our identity as a team.
Mhm.
Even the first game, when we played him the first time this season. Yes, Derrick Henry fumbled. Okay, it happens.
Yeah.
Don't stop running the ball. And yes, Pittsburgh was hitting them at the line of scrimmage. they were giving him the business. But as we've learned throughout the season, you don't stop running him because he's going to pop one eventually. He may pop 3. You never know. But of course, John Harbaugh is like, and you can see them on the sideline having a conversation. And it's like Derrick Henry's like, yo, bro, I'm like the best running back over the last 10 years. And you're taking the ball out of my hands. Now, we need that to happen, and we need Justin Tucker to be on point. Just in case we can't get into the end zone, we need Justin Tucker to make his kicks, because if he had made his kicks last time, we would have won the game possibly.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
And Todd Monken needs to take control of this team, because I've seen articles about him and him being more vocal as far as the offensive coordinator and not taking that step back behind John Harbaugh and actually doing his job. So hopefully he can man up and just be like, listen, I got this, John. You're a special teams guy. Go be special and let me do what I'm going to do.
Yeah. I am going to say that what we need to do to win, to answer your question, we need to go in there and be disciplined. We need to be a disciplined team that is comfortable in playing our brand of football. Let's not get cute. Let's not get, crazy. Let's not deviate from the run game, because that is our offensive identity. We need to limit the penalties in order to win. When you have penalties like we had against the Giants, someone said in the stream, yeah, I mean, this is okay right now because you're playing the Giants. You can't afford to have penalties like this, which, put you behind the sticks, which end up in negative yards, and you're losing yards. And so you're always shooting yourself in the foot and expect to go against a team as good as the Steelers and come back from that. So that would be kind of just overall what we need to do to win. Of course, individual players, we'll get into that in a few minutes. We'll talk about some one-on-one matchups. But if I had to kind of summarize it, that's what we need to do. That's what we need to do. Flex Zone Podcast. Thanks for being here. He said, go against everything that he said. Derek White, thank you for being here. He wants to know, good question. With Bate and Nelly probably not playing, is this the breakout game that we've been waiting for Tez Walker? Excellent question. Hendo, what do you think?
No.
I mean, you couldn't even fake it a little bit, let me
let me see.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
No. Glad he got his touchdown. It's amazing. First catch, touchdown, celebration. But if you just look at that play, all the defenders came to Lamar Jackson. Everybody came up and left him wide open. It's not going to happen this game. The Steelers aren't going to just let him run free like that. And we haven't seen enough of him to know that he's skilled enough to actually have a breakout game. I mean, entering game 15, one catch,
which resulted in a touchdown. Your one and only catch. It mattered when it needed to.
Okay, one catch, one touchdown, 15 games. Let's break down those averages.
Well, the averages is because you weren't that wasn't on him per se. That's just because
you sure?
Hold on. Because his coaches chose not to play him at the wide receiver position. That's beyond his control. Now, whether it's because he could or could not play, that's another story. But the fact that you look at how many...
if you balling out and Nelson Aguilar is struggling, Deontay Johnson suspended, I would imagine they would find a way to get you into the game if you practice and played well. If you are a playmaker, I'd imagine, and I'm not even saying that he's getting a majority of the snaps. He's actually getting into games. He wasn't even getting into games.
He wasn't. Special teams. He was getting in, hither and thither.
I mean, when he wasn't hurt.
Right, when he wasn't hurt. Agnes brings up a good point, and I want to speak on that, and then we'll let Suge weigh in. And please, if you have questions about the Steelers, you've got a Steelers guru right here. Ask him.
Let's not hype him up that much. He's a Ravens guru, Steelers affiliate.
Disrespectful. You see what I deal with?
You have with us tonight. We have with us tonight. Go ahead. Here's your chance. You have a Steelers aficionado. Ask him your questions.
Be respectful.
Yes, keep it clean. That's all I ask. Be respectful. Agnes brings up a good point. I hope Monken does something. The something that I would like to see, Agnes, is if the Steelers, with their great defense, are able to take away or limit the deep ball, Monken needs to dial up some short intermediate passes to get the ball out quick if this offensive line continues to struggle. TJ Watt has no injury designation, as I heard today.
Ain't
So
got no ankles either.
I'm going to keep moving. What do you think, Suge? Let me ask that question of the Steelers. What do the Steelers need to do to win the game?
Same thing they did last time. You limit Lamar Jackson, keep him in the pocket. You limit Derrick Henry, and you make these wide receivers catch balls. You also have to score in the red zone. Look, I love that Ravens fans are making every excuse. Oh, well, Justin Tucker missed 2 field goals. We scored 6 field goals. We were on your side of the field 6 times. We could have easily scored a touchdown, and this game's not even close. But we don't live by ifs and buts, or what ifs, as they say. So we kicked field goals. That was good enough to beat the Ravens, So if we do the same thing and your kicker has a hard time kicking field goals in his own stadium and your wide receivers aren't catching balls or aren't getting open and Derrick Henry's limited to, 35 to 65 yards, I think we win this game. I was told last week we're not going to shut down Saquon Barkley. Guess what happened? Saquon didn't run on us. What killed us was Jalen Hurts throwing the ball 5 yards to his wide receivers, and his wide receivers turning that into a 15-yard, 20-yard game. That killed us. It killed us when they were getting those on third downs. We had them 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12, and they were getting first downs. So if we can limit those, I think we just do the same thing.
Yeah, I would agree, but it's not as easy as you say it is. Oh, just contain Lamar Jackson, limit him. That is.
I mean, we did. Well, look at the stats against the Steelers. He has horrible stats.
He doesn't have the greatest. I will say that he does not have the greatest, but I'm going to largely attribute that to you have a very good defensive front. One of our weaknesses of this team is our offensive line. Hint, hint. So when we look at Lamar Jackson's stats against the Steelers, historically, if we want to take it in proper context, how many of those games that he played against the Steelers did he have a number 1 true wide receiver? How many of those games that Lamar Jackson played against the Steelers did he have a very good, not even going to say top notch or elite, a very good offensive line? So it's more challenging for Lamar going up against a team like the Steelers, obviously, because of who the Ravens have chosen to surround him with. That's my thought. But Hendo, what do you think? What do you think is going to be the biggest challenge for the Ravens offense going against the Steelers defense?
The offensive line, 100%. Especially if TJ Watt is healthy. They got Alex Highsmith back. And what is his name? What is the other linebacker? Herbig?
Herbert.
He's balling.
Herbig. Yeah.
He's balling out of control.
He said Herbert.
He's balling out of control. So if our offensive line can hold up, now we may have an addition by subtraction because right now Daniel Faalele is questionable for the game. If John Harbaugh can swallow his pride and actually put him in Cleveland and we can see what he has, that may be big for the Ravens. So if they can give Lamar time, and Lamar may be limited a little bit and may have to use his legs a little bit more than we would like him to, or some of us at least, because Rashad Bateman's questionable. Deontay's not playing. Who knows what's going on? Nelly's not going to play because he's still in concussion protocol. So Lamar's going to have a lot on his shoulders. But if they can just give him a little bit of time against this defense, because we joke around, but the Steelers have a great defense. They're a little suspect in the secondary, but they have a great defensive front. They have decent linebackers and Patrick Queen. So if they can actually hold up, that should give us a shot.
I'm going to ask you the reverse. Suge, what do the Steelers need to do on defense going against our offense?
Like I said, they need to contain Derrick Henry and limit Lamar getting outside the pocket and making plays. That's when he makes big plays, not when he runs the ball. It's when he gets outside the pocket and your receivers are able to get into open spaces. So if they keep him contained in the pocket with Highsmith pushing up in the middle and the edges getting to him, I think that's that's a recipe for success. Um, you know, we played. I see people in the chat talking about our offense. I mean, the Browns was not. Browns is a good defensive team, and we threw the ball against them and scored. So I think we need to start offensively. We need to start a little quicker. But I think that if we do that and we contain Lamar, Derrick Henry the last game only had 60 yards against us.
Something like
Hendo, if that, something like that. Saquon Barkley only had 65 against us. We can contain the run. It's keeping Lamar in the pocket, not letting him get outside, and letting wide receivers get in open spaces. If we do that, which we did the last game, I think we will be fine. Right now, you guys are hurting at wide receiver. So you need to, JPJ and Jackson should really have an easy time. Your focal point needs to be on, like people said, Mark Andrews. That's Lamar's one of his favorite targets. So you need to be able to take him out of the game and either double bracket him and make the other receivers beat you. We've seen in the past, Ravens wide receivers don't like catching the ball. So you make them beat you. Now where's Lamar going to do? If Lamar has a 200-yard rushing game and he beats you, so be it. He deserves that. But if he's running for 100 something yards, but only passing for 100 something yards, I think you're going to be fine as long as they're not, he's not scoring touchdowns with those runs. And you limit this offense because of your injuries and keeping Derrick Henry under control. Now, my worry is Derrick Henry. I think he wants to get because we took him out of that game. We really did. So I think they're going to try to run him hard, and we got to be prepared for that. Like our linebackers got to be ready because I as much as I love what Patrick Queen has been on this team, he has got his ankles broken like 4 times.
a game.
A game, and it's not looking good. Now Roberts, Elliott's coming back, so he plays in the box, things like that. That's going to help us. But PQ's going to have to make PQ's going to have to make tackles on Derrick Henry, and maybe even get another fumble. Because if you get another fumble on Derrick Henry, I think it's going to mentally take him out of the game, and I think it's also going to take Monken from calling rushing plays from him. So if we can get a punch out or a fumble, it did last time. They ran him, he fumbled, and all of a sudden they didn't want to run him anymore. Right. So I think if you get a fumble early in the game, just to mess with their psyche. So
I'm surprised you didn't mention take advantage of this offensive line. That's what I was kind of waiting.
That's just a given. That's just a given. Like we know that
don't say it like our offensive line is just that bad. I'm just kidding.
You guys say it all the time. You guys say it all the time.
I'm just joking. Listen, I'm just joking.
We didn't even mention Cam Hayward.
Yeah,
they got guys.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
then we got a back like Hendo says. We have 3 guys that can rush that has like the highest pressures right now, and one of them is a backup. He basically comes off the bench.
We got guys who can, pressure the quarterback as well. I should have worn his jersey, Odafe Oweh. But we have a question coming in from Wasting Perfect Food. Dalen, I think he meant Dayton Wade. Why won't they activate him? Because he can't play? I don't know. Hendo, why?
Because he's
not
a rookie.
Good?
He's an unrestricted free agent rookie. I mean, I thought
Keaton Mitchell was too.
Yeah, but Keaton Mitchell
I'm just saying.
Keaton Mitchell ran like a 4.1.
I don't know what Dayton Wade, but Keaton
Dayton
Mitchell
was
was
Dayton Wade run like a 4.8.
Okay, well, yeah, there's the answer. Derek White has a question for us. He wants to know, I think we need a masterful game called from Monken. Do we agree? And respectfully, Hendo, you sound like a hater, bro. Our team isn't designed to have breakout receivers. Yeah, he was buried in the depth chart. Okay, so we'll start with the first portion. Do we need to
I agree on the hating part.
I said we'll start with the first portion of the question. Do I think we need to have a masterful game? No, I don't. I disagree. I think we just need to play Raven style of offense, Raven style of defense. Nothing expert, nothing novel, nothing, like you say, masterful. I just think we just need to go back to the basics. Remember what works. Do that. That's what I think. Hendo? for the first portion of the question?
Masterful, no. Above average, yes. I think he needs to get he needs to go into his vault. He needs to find that Greg Roman vault, go into that, and dig out some plays. Because listen,
Yeah.
as great as Derrick Henry has been throughout his career, he has never really done well versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's never had a 100-yard game versus the Steelers, and he doesn't look like himself. So we need to find ways to get him some easy carries, some easy yards, get his confidence up, pass the ball, because we know the formula for the Ravens to win is run the ball, play action pass, let Lamar be him, let Derrick Henry close it out late. That's the formula. So he doesn't have to be masterful, but he does need to be able to adjust in game, which has been a Ravens problem since 2008. So if he can do that, we have a better shot at winning than we have in the past. It was
Agreed.
a joke, John.
And I don't think I don't think Hendo sounds like a hater. I just think Hendo speaks from a perspective of a person
No, I'm
who's
just
been
saying.
a fan of this
The dude
team for many
The
years.
dude was
and
wide open. The dude was wide open. He caught a touchdown. Yes, I'm glad for him because he's a Raven. I'm glad for him. But let's not act like that one touchdown is going to propel him to be something special, somebody that we can count on during the playoffs. It's week 15. Not expecting enough of him. Anything that he gives us is a bonus.
Yeah,
It's
for
something
sure.
I'm not expecting him to be the playoff hero.
Wait, John Parsons, Falele is questionable?
Yes, I said that. You weren't listening.
I can't.
That's what I said, Ben
I
Cleveland.
might miss something as I'm trying to go through the chat and keep up. So I
I
might
know.
have
I know.
missed it.
You did pass over a comment from Justin P. Well, who picked us apart, Justin P?
Oh, I put it up on the screen while Hendo was talking. But let's.
Yeah, I know. But
There's a
who
question.
picked us apart? Lamar barely had 100 yards going into the third quarter, I believe.
Did he
Weigh in
have
the
300
chat.
yards at the end of the game?
Justin P. Weigh in the chat.
No,
He wants to know.
But up to the fourth quarter, he hadn't.
Oh,
Really
they stopped football games in the third quarter. Right. Good to go. Good talk.
I'm
Robert. Sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, if you're saying you picking us apart,
He didn't say pick
know
you
what?
apart the whole game. He just said pick you apart. He could have picked you. He did pick you apart during the fourth quarter.
you know who picked you apart? Your kicker. That's what he did.
He sure did. I can't argue with that. He sure did. He didn't make it happen for us. Robert, he said Monken will dial up Justice Hill as a receiver. Bateman looks like he'll be out. Yeah, Bateman's probably out. But my thing is, where's Likely? If we need a player to get involved who has not really been that involved as of late, what about Isaiah Likely?
He's likely on the bench. He's likely on the bench.
Stop that.
He's likely not to be targeted. Somebody told me if he plays 17 games, he's gonna be a 1,000-yard receiver.
How many yards he got?
Probably 300.
I agree with you, Tanja. Lamar did enough to win these games. The ones, Lamar has done enough. Can he do more? Sure. There's areas that he can clean up. He's missed his targets on occasion. But one thing about Lamar Jackson is he knows when he's missed or when he fumbles, he comes back and he makes up for it. So that's the one thing I can say about him. But yes, he's done enough.
He needs to stop the turnovers in these games.
That's what I said. Yeah, the fumbles. We got to.
Yeah, he's got like 10 turnovers in 5 games or something like that. 12 turnovers in like 5 games.
Yeah. So that's an area that Lamar Jackson can certainly stand to clean up. So I want to go on record here real quick. I want to go on record, and I'll get you in 1 second, Suge. I want to go on record for those who say you never say anything. I don't want to say critical. But you never say anything that Lamar needs to do to correct or Lamar could stand to improve. Let it be known that we certainly do. Suge.
You don't have to justify anything.
Suge, what were you gonna say?
I say I might call my shot here and say there might be one fumble caused by TJ Watt with Lamar because TJ Watt's been punching out balls. Pause. And the way that Lamar does run around with the ball sometimes, and I've heard you say it, Hendo, so you can't say that I'm just making stuff up. He does carry the ball real loosely. So you see what happened to Jalen Hurts last week with the Steelers? I expect at least one. And I'm not ignoring Lamar's record-breaking season. I'm just saying Josh Allen is playing better, the real MVP. That's all I'm saying.
All right, Robert, I'm going to put a pin in this.
You're trolling to get a reaction.
Robert,
not from you, Hendo. I never get a reaction from you.
Because I know that you're just joking, and it doesn't matter. If Josh Allen gets the MVP, he gets the MVP. I could not care less. Like, you think Ravens fans really care about an MVP? We weren't about getting to
the coach. I love Coach.
Welcome
Everyone
in,
make sure to watch his coach's stuff, dude. I love watching his stuff. I wish I had
Absolutely.
him when I was younger because I would have been a better football player.
Absolutely. Make sure to go over and subscribe to Sip to Tally Films. And I have to say this here because he's back. He's back. That's it. Make sure to go over to Big Reg, host of Big Boy Talk, did a live stream, returned to these YouTube streets the other night. Great show. Make sure to go over.
Say it correctly, Yolanda. He did a sneaky live stream. He tried to sneak in there.
I'll take it, okay? Because it's been a while. So I'm just happy that he's back. And shout out to all of the channel members on both my channel and Hendo's channel who've come out tonight. Want to make sure we shout you out. We see you and we're appreciative that you're here. Jeff J has a question. Why do we always defer and give the visitors control of the first 3 to 5 minutes of a game, whereby they can dictate the flow of the game and take the air out of the stadium from jump? Whew, that is a loaded question. Hendo.
I mean, I was.
Or
sorry,
Suge. Go ahead, Suge. Oh, let's hear Suge's perspective first. Suge.
Well, no, deferring is because you want that second half. You want to go into. You want to start that second half with momentum. So if you get the ball the second half and you score right away, touchdown, field goal, you're getting momentum. Whereas it's not as a big thing as in the first quarter. So and if you're a good team, you usually can stop them 3 and out, whatever, or maybe they get a first down or 2, and then you stop them, you get the ball back. So it's just a momentum thing. Some people don't believe that. Talk to Rodney; he doesn't believe in momentum. He just believes in doing. So maybe it's just what is it? What's that called? A superstition? I don't know, but that's always been the reason for deferring in any sport. Defer. To defer during any sport that has deferment, you always defer because you want that momentum going at the end of your game, match, or competition.
Yeah, Suge is 100% correct.
I agree.
They do it because the Baltimore Ravens are actually top 2 or 3, maybe 1 when it comes to scoring in the last 2 minutes of a quarter. In the last 2 minutes of a half, I'm sorry. So basically, if they score in the last 2 minutes of the first half, then they get the ball right back and can score again. They can kind of take control of a game. So that's always the thought process. I don't think that it's just a Ravens thing. Like Suge said, it's just most coaches, unless they're trying to prove a point. Unless you're trying to dominate a team offensively, if the offense is better than your defense, they may want to show some things. But outside of that, it's just a numbers game. We're very analytical, and we go by analytics. So that's something that they do. Now, maybe he wants to test out his defense. Maybe he wants to see where they're at during this game to know how to call the game going forward. If they're going to be dominant and get a 3 and out, if they're going to let them go down the field and matriculate and take time off the clock, then he may have to call a different game plan. But it's just mostly just to get the ball back for the second half.
And one of the funniest analytics for the Steelers is their best quarters are the second and third quarter. I believe from what I saw on Monday night, we've allowed the least amount of points in the second and third quarter. And also, we've scored the most points, I believe, in the second and third quarter.
What you think, y'all the old Golden State Warriors?
Yes, your favorite team, the Splash Brothers, the Moon Ball. Okay, look out for that Moon Ball. So it's a for us, those are our times to shine, and that's going to be a big quarter. That's going to be a big thing in this game. Can we score in those 2 quarters and not let the Ravens score? That might change a lot of things. Going into the fourth quarter. So it's going to be very interesting to watch, and make sure to join us when we're watching it, because us 3 will do it together.
We're going to run it back on
Saturday. Why are you sitting out here like
for
this?
A live stream.
Y'all want to see Sugarton cry? Yeah, y'all want to see Sugarton cry? Make sure to come back.
Make sure you come
back.
Because
Hendo's so mean to me.
Where's Hawaii? He'll come through a little bit later. I want to see Hawaii. I want to see where he is.
Why is he not here?
All right, we have a question coming in from Derek White. He wants to know, just for a second, imagine a 50-50 jump ball in the end zone with the ball going to someone else besides the tight ends. We need that element going into the playoffs. Number 8 needs all weapons. What'd you say, Hendo?
We don't have that element.
We're going to have to make do with what we have. We're going to have to make do. I mean, what are we going to do? Miraculously bring someone else in right now? No.
Hopefully it doesn't come down to a 50-50 jump ball at the end of a game.
You never know. I mean,
or field goal try.
But because the last time you guys
did that, it was a toe out. So
Yeah. So you just never know. I'm not going to put it past, our team. But if it does come down to a field goal, hopefully what we saw this past week from Justin Tucker was a demonstration of showing that we're moving in the right direction. I saw another comment come through. Pay the bills. How you doing?
What's
Oweh
up, Pay the
pressures the
Bills?
quarterback. Yes, he does. He most certainly does. And I want you to watch closely this game, Pay the Bills, to Odafe Oweh, because he is going to have, I want to say 2 sacks, but
A
something's telling.
word. Well, he is playing a
He's,
dude that he dominated the first time, so
yeah.
it's possible. I mean, Suge's not listening right now, but maybe he could tell us about who is it? Broderick. Who's your rookie
Roger
tackle?
Jones.
Yes.
No,
Oweh had,
Roger Jones. It's his second year.
okay, second year. Oweh had his way with him last time, so it's quite possible. But he's questionable right now. But playing 15 snaps a game because you're not as good as you thought, that's not going to get you a lot of pressures.
But also too, like the line was still trying to gel. Our line has been playing really well. Like it had, and I'm gonna say this because lunch break hot take likes to make up narratives. If Najee doesn't fumble that ball, we're in a good spot against the Philadelphia Eagles. Not Russell Wilson fumbling the ball.
Hey, I could have sworn we don't talk in ifs. This is somebody just told me about 10 minutes ago.
Because he didn't fumble the ball. He tossed the ball to Najee Harris, and Najee Harris took his eye off the darn ball. I had to say darn because I don't want to cuss because Yolanda yells at me. But took his eye off the darn ball. Okay,
Man,
that's not a
Yolanda's
Russell
mean.
Wilson fault.
I am not mean. I just want you to,
She
clean up.
actually is.
Backstage,
She was
Yolanda's with the whip backstage. Whoosh, whoosh.
She
When
was
you get on
scolding
stream,
me
you better
before we
not.
started.
Whoosh. Don't say nothing bad about Oweh. Whoosh, whoosh.
I do not. That is
You sure
so
about
far.
that? I have proof.
I just asked gingerly, like very, very sweetly, please, can you, refrain?
Hendo sent me a picture of his back in the marks.
Facts.
That's not my business. I just want to make sure that, we keep it clean on the stream and we don't talk bad
And
about
keep it
Oweh.
clean. Oh no, that we can't say that here. Oh,
No,
sorry.
but just keep the language clean and
See, now you got us in trouble. Gimmick infringement. Thanks, Suge.
Yep, gimmick infringement. My bad.
yes, I do think Greenlaw would be a good fit for the Ravens. I do, Jesus. For sure. He'd be an excellent compliment to my guy Odafe. There was another question. Oh, wait. Optimus Prime, hey there. He said, O-line can't block, not Derrick Henry's fault. Exactly. When you have a struggling O-line, you get what you get. You get what you get.
EDC's fault.
Jesus, he says, Yolanda, Lamar has to elevate each player. He doesn't need an all-pro in every position. You work with what you got, especially if you're Lamar, a top 5 QB. You don't need a pro. Well, I mean, they're all professionals. They're all pros. So so that's number one. They made it to the NFL, which is the pro level. So he does need a pro. And
not in the context that he means.
right. And I was just about to address that. And in the context in which you mean, as if to say, Lamar doesn't need an elite pro at every level or, a standout name at every level. He doesn't need it, but it's sure interesting. It's very interesting how other teams recognize that their quarterbacks need it, i.e. the Bengals. Granted, they have not been winning this season. I think that's more on the defense than it is the offense, but there you have it. So when you have teams that recognize, hey, let me get a true number 1 wide receiver for my guy. Not only that, we'll bring in 2. We're bringing in, T. Higgins. Is he a true number 1? I mean, I think he would be on the Ravens squad right now.
He would be on any team.
So you've got arguably 2 number 1 wide receivers on that team. Now, what did they do to address their O-line? Not a whole lot, but he's able to make it work with the weapons that he has. And so my issue with the Ravens is if you are not going to provide Lamar Jackson with an elite wide receiver, top-notch wide receiver, at least go out there and fix the O-line so he has the time. Do something. You can't just let every, area kind of just say, well, you are Lamar Jackson, you're top 5, so it's fine.
I mean, Lamar, I will say Lamar in the playoffs has to elevate his game. He does, but
Sure.
in the sense of this question, was Kevin Zeitler an All-Pro? He wasn't even a Pro Bowler, and he didn't cost that much. You don't need all pros. You just need guys that can play. You have a franchise quarterback who's taken over this league, who's improved his play darn it each and every year, and he's at a level now that we haven't seen before in Baltimore Ravens history as far as offensively goes. And your first thought was, let me go out here and experiment with the guys that protect him. I'm not asking you to sign all pros, all Pro Bowlers, all whatever, but at least get guys in that are decent and that can play. We're in week 15 and we're still questioning Faalele. We're in week 15 and we're still talking about how Pat McCarry is a liability. So to me, you don't need all pros, but go out there and find somebody that can play. We don't have these same conversations when we talk about the defense. When we sit there and say, let TJ Tampa play or let Adisa Isaac play. No, we got to go out here and get free agents. We got to bring in guys with name value because Eddie Jackson was an all-pro. Desmond King was an all-pro. It's fine to bring in all pros for the defense. But when it comes to the offense and protecting Lamar, it's, let's just throw anybody in there and just pray for the best.
Speaking of defense.
Go ahead. Jesus in the chat trying to start Ravens Civil War with what he just said about Pat Mahomes and Josh Allen. Ooh. That's a civil war waiting to happen. I haven't even gotten there
yet. I'm behind. I'm trying to catch up. Let me catch up. I'm gonna have to skip through some comments. I see you, Lee Commander. Hey there. Good evening. Who do you guys have on deck for your matchup this weekend? Hey, Connector. I see you.
They have the Eagles. They play the Eagles this week.
All right. Sounds good. Now wait. I see it. Hey, Sush, you're just kicking up dust in here today, aren't you?
That's right. That's his opinion.
I know.
I think that DeAndre Hopkins is the number one receiver. I think that Amari Cooper is the number one receiver.
No, you guys didn't want D-Hop or Amari Cooper, Hendo.
First of all, we don't want a lot of people. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
We got to give up real. We have to give up real draft. We have to give up real draft picks. We're not getting them.
No, I'm talking about your fans. I'm talking about your fans. D-Hop was old and washed. Amari Cooper's not that good.
I'll take him.
They champion Odell Beckham Jr. Yeah, we don't want DeAndre. He's old and washed. But this guy coming off of surgery that didn't play for a year, he's gonna come in and make a difference.
Hey there, Deshaun86. Hey, I heard one of Pittsburgh Steelers O-linemen, he's a guard. He's going to hit free agency. Is that true? And if so, who is that, Suge?
It might be Dan Moore, if I remember correctly.
If he's good, can we
have it? Because the rest of the offensive line is all like rookies or second year players. So none of them. I think it's Dan Moore, because the other guy we signed from the Eagles is with us for a while, so it has to be Dan Moore. Sure. Okay. I mean, we let go of Dotson, and Dotson's playing well in the Rams, but they're not a great team. So sure.
My next question, and this is for everyone in the chat as well. We talked about the Ravens offense going against the Steelers defense. Now let's reverse it. What do we have to say about the Ravens defense going against the Steelers offense? We'll start with you, Suge. What are your thoughts?
I mean, like I said earlier, Steelers played the Browns, and the Browns is a pretty good defense. Now you guys are a good run defense, but I had an argument with I had a discussion, not an argument, a discussion with a Ravens fan, trying to say how great Wiggins was, and yet he has the same stats as JPJ. So I was like, okay, he's not that great, and he guards the number 2, number 3 receivers, but sure,
he guards the one sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. He guards the one. Never mind. I was gonna say a joke about Hendo, but I'm not gonna do that because I love the guy. We played the Browns. The Browns is a pretty good defense. We're gonna have to do the same thing, but we got to start off quicker. Throw to the middle of the field. You throw to Pat Fryermuth. You set up. You make plays to get guys. Get guys open to Van Jefferson. Hendo's favorite player, Calvin Austin III.
Lil Reek.
You throw him the ball, get him in open space. Mike Williams, you're gonna have to use him more. You brought him in. He hasn't done much. He scored us a touchdown to win us against the Commanders, but he hasn't done much. So you gotta throw him the ball. And he showed up in that Browns game. So the Commodores. My bad.
Lead
I forgot the
commander is going
Commodores.
to get you.
It's the
Lead.
commies.
It's the Commodores, but you do kind of the same thing. You lean on Najee Harris. Hopefully, Najee Harris can get over that fumble. But lean on Najee Harris. You lean on Jalen Warren.
Jalen.
You lean on Patterson because he's been running the ball well. And you get out there and you bootleg Russ out, throw it to the tight ends, get him in the middle,
What's up,
and
Brent?
Hey, Brent.
hi Brent. I was like, wait, who's that? And you get it to the tight ends, and you get to the middle of the field, and you just got to do that. And I think we can do that. Again, you guys have the number, I believe, the number 4, number 2. Correct me if I'm wrong, Hendo. Run defense,
2.
but passing
Number 1.
wise, it's not that great.
We got
After
number
this
1.
weekend.
Not
Okay,
that
we're
great.
back at number 1. There we go. We're number 1.
There you go, number 1. So you use that against them, screen passes, bootlegs, things like that, and then you start running the ball at them, play action pass, things like that. So I think Russ, he's played well. He hasn't turned. That's the big thing. He hasn't turned the ball over. So if he can do that, I think we'll be fine.
Before we get to you, Hendo, Pay the Bills has a question. And if you are watching any one of our streams, do us a favor, hit the like button. Take 2.5, hit the like button for us. It really helps our channels a ton. Pay the Bills wants to know, when the ball falls out of the sky, will Brandon Stevens be able to see it? Hendo, I'll let you start with this one.
When a tree falls in the woods and no one is around, does it make a sound?
I don't know because I'm not around.
Same thing, Brandon Stevens. We don't know.
Yes, it still makes a sound. Hey, Big Woke. Yeah, but
You
we're
don't
not
know
the
that?
Brownies.
You ain't
Shout out to
there.
Big Woke.
True enough. True
Shout out
enough.
to the Big Woke.
Yep.
No,
I mean,
Brandon
you're not the
Stevens wants to be-
Brownies. You're not the Brownies, but you guys were once in Cleveland, so.
Hendo, so our defense, we've been trending in the right direction as of late. How do you
Yes.
think we are going to, withstand, and how do you think we're going to perform this upcoming Saturday?
I mean, hopefully we can carry the momentum of the last 4 weeks. We're doing better. I think that Zach Orr is finding his footing. I know that I can't remember who it was, but was it Mike Tomlin? I think Mike Tomlin gave a shout out to Dean Pease. I don't know what for. He's playing mind games, but I do think that they have been playing a lot. No, even Dean Pease. They have been playing a lot better, and we just need to keep that momentum going. They found the right combination with the safeties, bringing in our Darius Washington. He's made a difference. He actually got a pick after dropping one. He should have had 2 picks.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that with George Pickens not being available, that the Steelers' air game isn't as potent as it normally would be. So if we can stop them from running and make them one-dimensional, that makes it a lot better for us. It's a lot easier said than done.
Yeah.
But I just think that if we can just continue the momentum, because we played the Steelers well. Every time we play them, it's always a one-score game.
Yeah, very
So
close.
one or two less completions, that may make the difference in the game. And hopefully Zach Orr learned from the first time that we played them. But my biggest factor and my biggest key is stopping Jalen Warren, because he is a home run threat every time he touches the ball.
Speaking of that, let's talk about key matchups. On defense for the Ravens, who would you say, and leave a comment in the chat, who would you say really needs to have a solid game going against a Steelers offensive player?
Can I answer?
Either one. Suge, going, for your offense, who needs to have, a key matchup?
I was gonna say for your defense, because
Okay.
Kyle Hamilton got ran over by Russell Wilson last time, so I don't know if he's bounced back from that, getting trucked. But go ahead.
Okay,
I'm gonna go with Trenton Simpson. It seems like the organization has lost faith in him.
Yeah.
And if he wants to contribute to this team going into the playoffs, he has to show to them something. And going into this rivalry game where things are going to be highlighted, everything's going to be picked up. If he can actually show that he can handle those duties, it'll take a lot less burden off of the guys that have to replace him. They've been rotating guys in and out. So if he can actually take hold and play like he did during the preseason, for me, that would be extremely big for the Ravens, because listen, Chris Border's played well, Malik Harrison's played well, but they can't replicate Trenton Simpson's speed. Like the guy has speed, he just doesn't have the experience as in playing in big games and playing for a full season. So to me, it would be him. Second place, it would have to be Odafe Owe. If he doesn't get more than 15 snaps in a game, it's a problem. What are you not doing during practice? What are you showing the coaches that you're not ready for, or why have they lost faith in you? Because even though it is going to be a very cold day, I think Russell Wilson likes to be fanned as well. So Mr. Whiffs is going to come through.
Call my guy, Mr.
Just
Whiffs.
breezing through, just fanning him off because he might get hot. They start sweating.
Cam the Baptist and Derek White, thank you for weighing in. Yeah, our Ravens D-line against the Steelers O-line. Absolutely. TJ Watt versus this O-line. For sure. For sure. I'm going to go with Black Ice. I'm with you. That's who I think needs to have a really good game. I think, and the reason I say Odafe Owe has to have a good game is for what you mentioned. 15 snaps a game. For what? Why? And you're supposed to be, leading our team. You're supposed to be leading this, linebacking core in terms of getting pressure on the quarterback, and you're not doing it consistently. You've got 8 sacks so far, but what have you done in the last couple of weeks? So for me, it's Odafe Owe. It's my guy.
He's saying that he's been doing all season.
We're gonna move on. See how
see
you can't just leave well enough alone. You just have to,
That's what we're here for.
To leave well enough alone. Oh, Suge, I'm supposed to say something to Jay the Six.
Right, Jay.
Hold on.
Oh, hold on. No, Yolanda. Remember, you have to be provoked.
Oh, yeah, he has to say something first. Okay, yes. Okay, then let me move on. Whoever is opposite of Watt, that's it, has to have a good game. Agreed, Ravens third ring. But he just goes out there and picks who he wants to, pick on. That's what he does. He just, goes out there and chooses. Like, I'm going to bully this person today. That's what he does. Okay, I think I've been provoked. Hold on.
Here we go.
He can't, Yolanda. He just simply can't. Owe is not a starter. He is. Hold on. Catch me outside. Did I say it right? Whatever. Is that right, guys? Did I say it, Hendo? Suge? How about that? That's it, Jay. That's what those are my instructions to say that. And I did it. I did a good job. Go me.
You did not.
I said exactly what you guys told me to say. Cash me out. Side.
So you about to say cashmere.
Whatever. You guys know where I'm going with this. Hit the like button if you're having a good time. And if you're not, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Hit the subscribe button. Come back. Watch another video or live stream. I promise you'll have a good time. Whatever you do, it doesn't matter. Just hit a button. Lead commander says Russell Wilson will go military style against the Ravens defense, dropping bombs everywhere. Sorry, Hendo. Hendo, can you speak to your BFF comment really quickly about Russell Wilson?
I need to. What's the timestamp for this? Because I was looking to see if Lead Commander had a channel earlier this morning. I was looking to see if he had a channel.
Lead Commander, you need to have a channel. You have a lot to say.
Yeah, you do. And he's joking. I understand it because what's actually going to be dropped is bombs with AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. Those are going to be the bombs that are going to be dropped. And the Rams are going to win. And Washington's going to fall out of playoff contention. So there we go.
Big Woke, that hurts. Now that one hurts. Now see, Big Woke, you and I were we were on our way to being BFFs. But then you said, can we try Matt BK at Edge?
We can't. Because he can't even do his job inside.
Leave him in the interior. That's right. I said it right.
$98 million for what? For who?
It wasn't painful. I was just trying to remember what I was supposed to say. This is a lot, okay? This is a lot. But I'm working on it. I'm getting better.
That was painful.
It wasn't. He said at all. Okay. Anyway, couple questions before we get ready to wrap up. Now, what player on the Steelers team concerns you the most, Suge?
concerning as far
going
as
into
not
this
showing
game?
up.
Like if they're not, I mean, for the ones that are healthy, for your players that are healthy, which one has not been performing up to the level you would like to see them perform? And you're like, hey, I don't know.
That's easy. It's Najee Harris. Najee Harris needs to run the ball. He has to have a big game, uh, and be able to gash this defense up to so that way we can start play action passing it. I think he's been well this year, but not up to the standard. If you want you want a new contract. Like you just that game against Philly, you fumbled the ball. We were moving the ball against Philly. We are down 7 points. We get a touchdown there. It's tied. We don't know what happens, and you
Hmm.
fumbled the ball. Now people are going to say, "Well, it was Russell Wilson, whatever." You need to show up. You haven't showed up in the last couple of games. You need to show up this time. So I think if he shows up and he's able to gash this defense really well on the ground, I think that's going to pay dividends for us to win this game. So I think it's Najee Harris.
All right, Hendo, same question. Doesn't matter offense or defense. One player that needs to have a really good game on Saturday.
Daniel Vallely.
Oh, I meant realistically. Like, but go ahead.
No, you asked me.
I did. Go ahead.
Daniel Vallely, Pat McCarry. Listen, Roger
Mm.
Rosengarten has come in as a second-round pick, and I think he's solidified the right tackle spot.
Mhm.
He's done well for a rookie.
Yeah.
So I think that the weakness of this team offensively are the two guards. Like
For sure.
they're an issue, and you have Falele, who was questionable with an injury, so he may not even be at 100%. Even at 150%, he's not good. So I think that those two guys, if I don't expect them to necessarily stop the Steelers, but slow them down. Like you're 6'8", 300 pounds, maybe 4. Get in somebody's way. Make it hard for them to get around you. Do something. So I think if they can actually block for Lamar and give him just a little bit of time, if they can block and open up holes for Derrick Henry, I think that will bode very well for this team. So the two guards for me are the players that I'm looking at the most that need to have a good game for us to win.
Yeah. Leave it in the chat, Ravens fans. And if you're not a Ravens fan, that's fine too. Weigh in.
Everybody's a Ravens fan.
That's right. Even lead commander. Weigh in the chat. Who needs to have a really good game? Who might not have been doing very well recently or this season? Who needs to have a really good game? And I'm going to go with Isaiah Likely. It's not, to your point, Hendo, yes, it's certainly, those would be the obvious. The guard, our interior O-line is a huge concern. But Isaiah Likely, I don't know, week after week, I'm looking for him just to have a really good game. He's not been terrible. No, he hasn't. But in a game like this, where it might be difficult to allow, to have the offensive line hold up long enough to develop these routes, and especially, I don't know what's going to happen with Bateman. He was probably out, but we'll see. So we're going to need some short passes, intermediate passes. That's where Mark Andrews can do it, but not by himself. It'd be nice to have a complement to him in Isaiah Likely. So that's who I'm going to go with. I don't know about that, Maverick. I don't know about permanently. I think he lives rent-free in his head, especially around the time we play you. Yes, I'll give you that. But then,
I'm with you, Maverick. I believe you, Maverick, permanently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, Brandon Stevens needs to have a good game too, Big Reg. I mean, I can't even, but we need some turnovers. We need some turnovers.
What's that? Maverick.
Exactly.
Are you Quinn? Are you Quinn on another account?
Maverick, is that you? Is that you? When? Why?
Yes, why?
Why? It's not when.
Why? Yes, why? My bad.
Yeah.
Why? Is that you? Are you related?
I don't know. He more than likely.
Y'all are football royalty. Red-headed stepchildren.
Yeah, we need
Sir.
Yeah, he needs to have a productive showing like he did against the Chiefs. I would agree. Yeah, pay the bills. Matabike. We just paid him. Like, there's so many that we could name. Tylan Wallace.
Yeah. Somebody in the chat said that he would be a number one on any other team in the NFL.
Who said that?
He's not even a number. He's not even our number 2.
He's
How
not.
could he be a number 1 on somebody else's team? He's not
Mm-hmm.
even our number 3.
All right.
Or
Robert, I
4.
got it. I got you down for Chris Board having a good game and Justice Hill being the star of this game. Okay. All right. Maverick says, I don't know what you're talking about. We have another.
I don't know if Justice Hill's going to be a star when he gets his lunch taken every time.
Who's going to take his lunch?
Oh no, that's
But yeah, remember last time?
One of Lamar's interceptions was a pass completed to Justice Hill. And he just took it from him.
I know.
Like he was a child. Give me your toy. Give me that happy.
Took it for him like Hendo takes from Galaxy Geek. If you don't know that reference,
I don't take anything from Galaxy Geeks.
Nah, don't know it. Don't know it.
I know the reference, but I don't take anything from Galaxy Geeks.
Well, family, last thing we're going to ask.
Do I need to look them up?
Who's going to win? And drop your score predictions in the chat. Who wins? Steelers versus Ravens on Saturday at 4:30. Come by here. Make sure you are with us because the 3 of us will live stream the game. So drop your response in the chat. I'll start with you, Suge. Who wins and what's the score?
I hear you, Maverick. I hear you.
Ravens win 27-14.
Tell me a little bit about why and how you arrived at that conclusion, at that score prediction.
Because, like I said in the beginning of the stream, the Ravens need this game more. They're going to be more fired up. This is they're 9-5 right now. They're not expected to be here. They were supposed to, from my past streams with Hendo and Ravens fans, they were already supposed to have the division locked up, and they don't. So it's a home game. We always split with each other usually, and yeah, the Ravens will get this one, and it's fine, and the Steelers will move on, and we're both going to be still in the playoffs. Because if you lose this game, I think you guys are mentally done. I think you lose this game, I think you might fire your coach.
No,
so, don't tempt me with a good time.
Hendo,
I'm Hendo. I mean, I'm being dead serious, Hendo.
I'm being dead serious. Don't tempt me with a good time.
If the Steelers beat the Ravens without George Pickens and a hobbled T.J. Watt,
did you all say this from Maverick?
What was that? Yeah, I was gonna address that. He just told me that Vietnamese people were smart.
That's what he said, and
you said that, and I was gonna believe you, but now that you made this comment, listen, the Baltimore Ravens Pittsburgh Steelers games are normally decided by a touchdown or less.
That's right.
It's just how it is. It's just how it's been.
I'm just saying, Hendo. If Saturday comes and the Steelers win without George Pickens, without T.J. Watt being fully healthy, not a good line. What do you like? You guys are what 9? It'll be 9-6. You guys are still going to be in the playoffs, but mentally, I think the Ravens would be done. Personally,
I mean, we're done if we got to see y'all in the playoffs, but I don't think they'll be done.
True enough.
I think mentally, you guys would be done.
Robert, 21-20 is just a little too close for my comfort, but it's a win nonetheless.
A win is a win.
A win is a win. As long as we're healthy, as long as we come out healthy, I'm all right with it. But yeah,
look at Big Reg. I thought Big Reg was a Ravens fan. What happened?
Big Reg has never been a Ravens fan. He's been a Caillou fan.
Caillou, I'm always going to call that man Caillou Blue Kelly, whatever his name is. But League Commander says he's going to come by so that he can console Suge when the Steelers take the L. I appreciate that.
Listen, League Commander. I know we have our little tete-a-tetes, we have our little battles, but we cool because you're a smart individual. You were searching YouTube and was like, listen, I need to find a winning organization. I need to find somebody that has a good team. And you came to the Ravens. You didn't go to the Commanders. You went to the Ravens. So, I see that you have good judgment. And let me be the first to say I appreciate you. Your team's about to get curb stomped by the Eagles, but I appreciate you.
Lee Commander, why you get him started? Why do you do it? I know you guys are BFFs. Y'all are best friends. I know that. We got to plan a meet and greet. We got to plan a new one, another one next year, so that you can be the first one there to give Hendo a huge bro hug and get his autograph.
Please don't wear those pukey colors.
You know he's
Does
gonna come there.
Hendo even give hugs?
I don't know. I just made something up on the fly.
Ask Dream. I hug my baby all the time.
Well, see, there
Oh,
you go. Now you've got a hug with your name
shout
on
out to
it.
Dream.
Lead command. You got a bro hug.
First of all, it's my granddaughter. Let's not go too
I
far.
said a bro hug. That's what I just said. You didn't hear what I said. I said you know the handshake and the pat on the back.
We're still in the era of COVID. Calm down.
Put on a mask and give him a bro hug. There you go. All right. Justin Lewis says Pittsburgh never beat the Ravens 50-3. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not happening. That is not happening. Well, ladies, gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to tonight's show. Really appreciate it. We are giving you, Hendo and myself are producing content every day for the month of December, and we are over the halfway mark. I can't believe it. I can't believe this.
Tomorrow, I'm putting out a short.
Yeah, I might put out a short myself tomorrow. It's Friday, and I just might. But anyway, thank you, Suge, for joining the show. I appreciate it. Can't wait to see you back.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. I'm sorry, Gwen. I'm sorry. What? We're not worried about the MVP. And let's not talk about a standard, Gwen. Sorry, Suge, but you haven't won a playoff game since 2016. Calm down, Gwen. Know your history.
Gwen, Maverick, don't get him started. Just don't get him started, because once Hendo gets started, we can't. It takes forever to try and end the show. Yeah, I'm just telling Maverick.
We just having some banter going back and forth. He says some things that aren't true, and I just correct him. That's what it is. And Lead Command is just trying to be funny because we can go back to when you guys were actually relevant in the NFL.
Again with Lead Command. Leave him alone.
Let me see. Let me think about it. Last time y'all were relevant in the NFL, Jasmine was a fetus.
Big Reg, yes, someone is streaming tomorrow.
Who?
You've got it.
Big Reg got it tomorrow.
Yeah, go man.
That's right.
There you go. There you
go. Big boy talk. Big boy talk. I'll join you tomorrow.
I can't wait till 4:30 Saturday.
Hendo is going. He's going to go and figure out some places that we can do a meet and greet next year. That's
I'm gonna go.
Are you going to the game, Hendo?
I'm gonna go. No, I'm not going. My brother's going though. He's going. He's taking my nephew to his first football game. They're actually going.
Nice.
But yes, Lead Commander, I must go and find some stats that make the Commanders look good as a franchise. It might take me a couple of weeks, but I'm gonna find it just for you.
And he'll do a short or something just to
False.
Okay, well I was just trying. Anyway,
false. This is gonna be really quick, so it's not a short. Is too long.
Suge, would you please let everyone know where they can find you here on YouTube?
1991. There you go. It's done. 1991. Done.
The other show.
Well, first off, Yolanda, thank you very much for having me on. It's always a pleasure.
Always fun.
You are awesome. Hendo, you are a pain in my what, but I love you, man. Appreciate you. You can find me, Hendo, and Brodney every Tuesday, 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. Eastern on Still Conspiracy on my channel, Suge Knight 323. Come hang out with us. We try to talk football and then it goes off the rails real quick, and we either argue, get in a fight, or have a great time. One of the three options. We never know which one is going to be that night. But come hang out with us. It's always a fun time. Yeah, appreciate you, Black Ice.
Thank you.
And you can find me at Suge Knight 1323 on Twitch. I usually play video games on there. Suge Knight 323 on TikTok, where I'm usually playing video games when I have time. So make sure to come hang out if you like video games and banter.
Yeah,
appreciate all of you.
Make sure y'all stop by next week. Make sure after the Steelers lose, make sure you come by Suge's channel and give him Hades for about. Well, the
problem is it's going to be Christmas Eve.
So what?
So I'm Mexican. We go celebrate.
Whoa! So now all of a sudden,
watch. Here comes Caleb. Here comes Caleb.
Wait, now in 2024,
but Christmas Eve, because Christmas. Yes, I am Hispanic. Christmas Eve, I'll be busy. So I'm hoping to talk to. So hopefully, me, Hendo, and Brodney, if they're up to it, or me and Hendo, because Brodney
ain't gonna do it. But if we make it,
so me and Hendo will probably do a show Sunday. So.
Wait a minute, what? First of all,
that's awesome.
You're taking things.
And Osmond said you left me out. Don't leave me out.
What's up, Osmond?
Oh, is Yolanda join Still Conspiracy? Oh, okay. Well, that can be a thing. We could get her on. y'all want to have her on. She was about to cut people's necks last night, but it's all good.
No,
Oh,
it was just this was
you can have my
just
spot, Yolanda.
no.
No.
Thank you,
No.
Justin.
You guys come as a
Thank you,
crew.
Killicam. Thank you all for coming by. Hendo, please let them know where they can find you and what you have going on here on YouTube.
You can find me at the RouG Pod on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and Blue Sky. I normally just put out a video, or Yolanda make me live stream, so you know where I'm at. Like you see me on there every day. But
You're
we got some
welcome.
other we have some other things in the works. I was just talking to Jose earlier, and we got some big plans for 2025. Some stuff that we know you guys are gonna love, and it has more to do with not sports than it does sports.
Good. Awesome. Looking forward to it. Well, family, we will see you back very soon. And by very soon, I mean we'll see
Saturday.
you tomorrow, probably in video form or short, or maybe even a live stream. You just never know. Make sure your post notifications are turned on so that you never miss content released on any of our channels. We will see you very soon. Until next time, you take care, stay safe, and always remember,